Okay, so here's a geometry question. Triangle ABC, the measure of angle A is 47. Let's go to another, let me go on down and I'll find another geometry question or probability question. Oh, well, here's another proportion problem, number 13. You guys see why that? Go ahead and look at 313 and see. That is almost very similar to what we just did in the last two problems. Those are all, the last three problems have all been proportional, last two, and this is also proportional. It said 1 inch represents 15 feet. That's a ratio. So you've got 1 to 15. Then it says 2 inches represented by 2 inches. The area in square feet represented by 2 inches by 6.5 on this drawing is closest to. Okay, so
1 to 15.
Then and you've got inches on top, right? So we'll do that. Just remember that's going to be equal to 2 inches to what? How many feet? This is a straight up. Think about it. If 1 inch is to 15, then 2 inches is how much? This is easier than you're making it. If 1 inch you travel 15 feet, then 30. Yeah, it's just double. These are equivalent fractions. In order to make 1/15 equivalent, you have to do 2/30. Because it reduces back to 1/15. And then 6.5 inches. Now this is going to take a little bit of thinking. Just go to 6. If you go to 6, what would happen to your original? 1 to 15 going to 6 would be what? Let me go ahead and make this into two parts. 6.5 is 6 to something plus 0.5 to something, okay? So to get to 6 from 1 to 15 to 6, what do you have to do? You have to multiply by 6, right? What's 15 times 6?
90.
90, and then plus 0.5. Now, this is 0.5 of the original, so it's going to be what's basically half. What's half of 15?
7.5.
Let's just do 7.5, yeah, right? Make sense? So 6.5 is what? 6.5 inches is how many feet? Yeah, 97.5. You see what I did there? It's sometimes it's easier to do it in half. Okay, so the question is, a square is represented 2 by 6. They want to know the feet. Well, you've got the translation. 2 was 30, and 6.5 is 97.5. So on your little calculator screen, you're going to multiply 30 times 97.5. And when you do that, what do you get? 2,925. And what is this set? Closest to. So which one are you going to pick? D. Because D is really close to that. And once again, I'm going to check because I'm pretty sure that's right, but I always want to make sure I'm not like leaving you with completely false. Yep, D, that's it. So do you see what I'm doing? You can use ratios, and you guys will have an on-screen calculator, so you can multiply. You could actually multiply 15 by 6.5 and get the answer. I'm just doing it without a calculator, but you would get the same answer. Okay, so that's what. And the reason again they're not giving you this right answer is they're trying to stop you from reverse working backwards. Their answers will always be really close. I mean, it won't be the choices between, 3,000 and 29.2 or something. You know what I'm saying? Where you're 29,020, where you're trying to decide what it's closer to. It'll be obviously closer to one of them, but it won't give you the ability to go. Well, you could go backwards, but it would be, yeah. There's a way to go backwards, I guess, if you wanted. It's another circle problem. The xy coordinate plane, the endpoints of the diameter of a circle. This is one where you want to draw a picture, okay? Because it makes it, you don't have to like graph it perfectly, but you want to have an idea of what you're looking at. So you have a circle, the endpoints of the diameter are a -10 on the x-axis and 5 on the y, so let's do this. I don't know if it goes right down the center. It goes, okay, so -10, and we'll do this. So -10 and somewhere down here, right? No, that's not going to work. Let me just mark it on here. Sorry. I'm not capable of doing math that's like way off. It has to be at least reasonably close. And that was gonna give us something that was way off, so let me make it, okay, so I'll make a smaller circle. So I'm gonna make 10.5 and a negative 10 and 5 over here somewhere. I just won't put an axis on it. Okay, whoops, I'm going down. I need to go up. That's what's throwing me off. So we'll do this one more time. I'm gonna, no, that works. Okay, so draw your circle, and then it's a negative 10 and 0.5 is up, or number 5 is up here. So negative 10 and 5, and then 4 and 5. Oh, so these have the same y value. So this is going to be a horizontal line. Oh, I was making it much harder than it was. Okay, so here's that and here's that. So this is minus 10 and 5. I guess the moral of that story is look at your points first before you start drawing things all over the board. 4 and 5, all right? Okay, so you don't care. It's not going up or down. It's going straight across. What's the distance from here to here? Starting at negative 10 and traveling all the way to a positive 4.
1.
It's 14. Because you're looking at distance, it's the total net distance.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't subtract. You're just literally going 10 to 0 is 10, another 4 is going to give you 14. So you're asked what the circumference is. What is your circumference formula? This is where you have to remember this circumference for you. Circumference is equal to
2r pi.
2 pi r or pi d. Remember, so it's 14 pi. 2r is 14. There's your answer. That's why I said just leave pi alone. Okay? Yeah. So once you get the hang of them, they're really, a lot of these are pretty straightforward. They're not hard at all to do that. What time is it? Oh, it's 7:20. I didn't realize. Yeah, your daughter's been very good. I figured by now she would be like flailing. Yeah. Let me see. Let me find one probability problem, and then we'll go ahead and call it a day. Look through. You guys help me out here. Look through and look for something that asks for probability. I know I saw something that asked. I'm having trouble talking here. My mouth is like slowly freezing up. For probability, there has to be a probability problem.
I know I had one with coins before. It was like they were collecting coins.
Oh, here we go. 25. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let me go to, let's look at number 25. Let me erase this. And then I'll point out, so the statistics, I will do some statistics on a video. What is your name? I'm sorry.
Tucker.
Tucker, yes. Tucker, if I can't promise I'll have time, but if I do, I'll go ahead and do some statistics on it and see if I can't give you a basic on statistics between now and then. So let's look at 25, which is an example of a probability with coins. Okay, and I'm going to show you a couple of probability, let me see, what's this? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to show you just a probability, some things to know. If you're given 2 dice, always make a square grid when you're given 2 dice where you have, let me make this bigger, and I'll erase this and to the other one. But whenever you're given dice or 2 things that can happen or a 3-sided dice, you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the outcomes, right?
Yeah.
And then you've seen this before?
I think I remember it in one of my classes, but I don't remember how to do it.
Yeah, so you make yourself a grid that looks like this.
Isn't it called something?
I just call it a dice grid. It might be called something. I don't call it anything. All right, and then this is what you can do is you can look at the sum or the multiple. Usually they're asking you what is the probability of getting a sum of 4 or something like that. They're usually sums. They're very rarely multiples. So you just add these. 1 and 1 is 2. 2 and 1 is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 6 and 3 is 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 12. Okay. So from this grid, you can answer anything you need to answer about dice. What is the probability of getting a sum of 5? Well, you count how many times you see 5, which would be here, 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 and here. These things always occur in diagonals. So the probability of rolling a sum of 5 is going to be 4 out of what?
4 out of 6, right?
4 out of all possible probabilities. Your top is always the part, your bottom is the whole. You have 32 choices, 6 by 6. Think of area, 4 out of 36, which may end up showing up as 1 out of, 1 out of 9. 4 goes into 36 9 times. That would be the answer you'd be looking for. Okay, so these are the kind of questions. What is the probability of rolling, a sum of 7 or something like that? So you do your probabilities. You go through this in. If I do this in green, it might be easier to see what was supposed to be there. So you do your probabilities and you just add you just look for what you have. Okay. So that's the dice chart.
Can I take a picture?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and take a picture of it, and I'll wait till you do it, and I'll delete it.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, you're fine. Okay, that's very helpful. And that's when you have 2 dice. If you just have 1 dice, you're not going to be adding. You're just going to. So what's the probability of rolling 3 if you only have 1 dice?
1 out of 6.
Yeah, 1 out of 6, right? What's the probability of rolling at least a 2?
At least it's
At
2
least
out of
2.
6.
2 out of 6,
Third.
right?
Wait, what?
At least.
At least.
At least means it could be a
4
1 or a 2. At least means
Oh,
that
okay,
much
okay.
or less.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be 2 out of 6, which is 1 out of 3, right? Exactly. So those are the kind of questions they'll ask you with a single die. Usually with 2 dice, they ask you some.
So
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
So like here it would be, with the coin, you have 9 possibilities in this
Yes.
instance. So then, what would be the possible of, so you have 4 T's, so it'd be 4 out of 9?
We tossed it with an outcome of where H means heads. What that the next toss will be? No,
it'd be C because there's 2 possible options.
Yes,
And if you
exactly.
get 1, it's half, so.
Yes, and what you did before, these are all independent events. Because the question should be, well, how would I know? That's exactly the answer. You don't know. It's
Yeah.
going to be a 50-50.
Yeah.
Because what you drew, what you just tossed is completely irrelevant what you toss next.
Mhm.
So that's kind of what you caught that was great. That was trying to trick you into thinking. Now, if they said, this is what the pattern was, what's the probability of tossing a head? What would you answer to that? That would be 5 out of 9, based on what you've done so far, right? So it's 50-50 going forward, but it's 5 out of 9 based on what you've already done. So independent events means the next one doesn't matter. You said you saw marbles, or was it a coin toss?
I don't think it was probability. It was they were like a little pie chart, and
Yeah.
somebody had this amount, and then another person had this amount, then another one had another amount, and if they all traded, how many marbles would they have? Or something. It was, but I know that one, so we don't have to do it.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That sounds good. Yeah, probability is always part over whole. So you always need to figure out what are all your possible choices. That's your denominator. The numerator is what you're looking at. And an independent event would be if you had 4 blue marbles and 6 green marbles. What's the probability of drawing a blue?
1 out of 10.
Yeah, 4 out of 10, right? It's 4 out of the total. Now, if you put the marble back in the bag, what's the probability of drawing another blue? It's still going to be 4 out of 10. If you didn't put the marble back in the bag, now what's the probability?
3 out of 10.
3 out of 9, yeah. Because you've lost one of the blue marbles and you've lost one in your sample space. Yeah. So that makes them dependent because one depends on what happened the first time. Okay, I think I've hit pretty much everything except for the statistic. I don't know if they even have. Oh, let me look at. There's one more one I do. Let's look at 29. Just before we go, so that's another geometry problem. Okay, so the perimeter of each of the 7 regular hexagons in the figure above is 18. So they're telling you just one hexagon has a perimeter of 18. this goes back to what can you what other things can you know? Before you even answer the question, what other things do you know? If the perimeter is 18, what do you know? Regular means all sides are the same length. That's a key word, regular hexagon. So if the perimeter of one hexagon is 18, you automatically know what?
All the rest of them.
Well, all the rest of them are 18, and that one hexagon, what do you know more about that one hexagon?
The side's gonna be
All the other stuff.
How many sides are there?
6.
So if the whole perimeter is 18, and you know that's regular all the sides of the length, and how much is this little side right here?
3.
Yeah, it's going to be 18 divided by 6 or 3. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's a piece of information that you know, you just have to know that you know it. Because what it says is, what is the perimeter of the figure? The perimeter is only on the outside. So, do you see what I'm saying? So you have to know how much this little piece is so you can just count the outside. So this is 3, 3, 3, so this is 9. So you have 9, 18, well you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with an outside of 9. See what I'm doing? So 6 times 9 is 54, that's your answer. Okay, so the fact that you know that the perimeter is 18, or you could have said, well this is half the perimeter, so it's half of 18 is 9. I mean, you could have done it that way too. But you have to take the information, and the key word there was regular. That if it says it's a regular polygon of any kind, that means the side lanes are exactly the same. Okay, so that's what that gives you. All right, I think I hit the geometry pretty good, and then the statistics, like I said, I don't know, is there any, what kind of statistics do they ask? They ask you just charts. You guys should be good with the charts. I don't know if they actually ask you to do, other than, well, you guys know how to find mean, median, and mode, right? How do you find the mean?
Add them up.
Yeah, add them up and divide them, right, by the number. And the mode is what? What's the mode?
How many times did it occur?
The number it occurred the most. Like the number that occurred the most times would be your mode. What about the median? Median people,
The middle number.
the middle number, and make sure you do what? You order them first.
Yeah.
Because they may not give them to you in order. That's, as far as I know, that's pretty much the statistics that they throw at you.
It was a scatter plot.
Oh, was it? What was that?
I don't remember. I didn't understand that one. It was just like a scatter plot.
Right.
And it was supposed to, it was asking, I don't know what it was.
It was, yeah, you didn't know what it was asking. So they gave you some sort of a scatter plot. Was it asking you about decreasing or increasing at all? So scatter plot like that, sort of?
They did have scatter plots like that, and those they asked you if it was what kind of line it was or something.
Yeah, well,
fixed or something like that.
Fixed. It would probably, well, there's different types of scatter plots. If they give you something like this is going to be a quadratic.
Yeah.
Because it's curved. If they give you straight, it's a line. Least squares, all you can really tell that is the slope. I mean, they might ask you the slope. That would be a positive slope. It's increasing.
It was something else. It was something like a scatter plot, and then they asked you how many was it. It was weird. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, what you're saying right now?
Yeah, it's confusing.
It's not helping. I'm thinking, I don't know what you're talking about. All right, well, I think everybody's kind of brain dead, and if you're not, I know I am.
Yeah.
So, but I hope this helped at least a little bit, at least with the geometry, because geometry tends to be what everybody struggles with. So, okay, and I don't know if you really need any statistics.
I don't think we had.
I don't think the statistics on the test is more than mean, median, and mode. So I think you might be good. Probability and geometry. Work through the practice test, the one I have there, and make sure you can do it. And then what you want to do is, if you have any questions, just email me. Like, I'm not sure how to get this one or combined singing or something like that. Does that make sense?
Take a picture or something.
Yeah, you can take a picture and just send it to me, and then say, or you can tell me I work number 35, and then take a picture of your work, and then I can see what you did or something. Okay? That works.